Between 2015 and 2018, the GHA awarded 3 contracts to MedDoc Limited for the provision of elderly care services. In all 3 cases, the value of the contracts was above the tender threshold and above the EU tender threshold. But the Principal Auditor says no documentation or evidence has been provided to the Audit Office to demonstrate that the requirements under the procurement regulations or EU tender procedures have been complied with. There are also no signed formal contracts for any of the awards. The GHA says the acceptance of the tender submissions is in itself a binding contract. But the Principal Auditor says he's concerned that, without a termination clause, the provision of care to vulnerable citizens is at risk. The contract for the Hillsides residential facility was awarded to MedDoc in 2017 for the sum of just over £2.2 million. The contract was initially awarded to Grand Home Care, but then removed from the company because of alleged tax and social insurance arrears. But the Principal Auditor says he can't find any evidence of arrears, because the Central Arrears Unit system doesn't allow the user to see what the position is on a past date. He says no documentation has been supplied to his office on a tender bid from MedDoc or any other company other than Grand Home Care. The Bella Vista Daycare Centre contract was awarded, again to MedDoc, in 2016 for the sum of just over £1.4 million. But the only tender bid supplied to the Audit Office was for a company called ADA Limited. The tender was altered after the award to include the purchase of 2 vehicles and extra staff, for which the Principal Auditor says a new process should have been undertaken. Finally, the award for the John McIntosh wing was awarded in 2018 for the sum of just over £1.2 million. The Principal Auditor says no detailed tender document was provided to his office for this contract, although in this case the proposals by MedDoc were. In conclusion, the Principal Auditor says from the limited documentation provided to his office, it's evident that the provisions of the procurement regulations have not been adhered to.